Well, home prices have been climbing for the last 2 weeks in Oakland, but are still behind where they were this time in 2022. This, of course, sets up the big question of the year, which is, will 2025's home prices finally catch up to where Oakland home prices were in 2022? That's the question we're answering this week in this Oakland Real Estate Update for February 20th, 2025. I'm Jon Schwartz, California's 1% homebuyer agent. I'll be posting these Oakland real estate updates every other week, so subscribe to the channel and come back to stay on top of the market. And visit jonsch.com to learn how you can save 60% on realtor fees on your next home purchase in Oakland. That's jonsch.com. Now let's get into the data. And right now we're looking at the latest weekly print from Redfin for the Oakland metro market, which includes all of the suburbs surrounding Oakland. Let me tell you what we're looking at. This is a graph showing the median sale price of a home in Oakland over the past 4 years. Here's the key. The green line is 2025, the orange line is 2024, blue is 2023, and black is 2022. And by the way, just so you know, ignore these squiggly lines behind me. That's a graph down below that we don't pay as much attention to. And what we're seeing is that the median sale price of a home in California has climbed over the past 2 weeks to $839,000 this week, after bottoming out 2 weeks ago at $817,000. Now, it's worth noting that we're still south of where we were this week in 2022. Back then, the median sale price was $853,000. And of course, as I alluded to, that sets up the big question, is pricing this year going to beat 2022? Or will 2022 still remain as the high watermark, the recent high watermark for pricing in Oakland? Right now, we're looking at new listing median price. And this is the median price at which new listings came to market this week in Oakland. And this week we were completely flat at $899,000. But that's after this pretty whopping $130,000 growth since the beginning of the year. Now, this kind of growth isn't unprecedented. 2024 had a similar climb. 2022 had a similar climb. 2023 was a slower growth year at the beginning of the year. But these kinds of sharp increases in list prices are common in January and February. It's worth noting that the list price that homes are coming to market is an indicator of agent sentiment. Agents are in the market every day. They're seeing what's happening, and they're listing homes according to what they see happening around them. And the fact that we have such a sharp incline in list price this January does indicate that Oakland agents are expecting a pretty active, high-priced homebuyer season this spring. Of course, the question is, will homebuyers give that to them? Right now, we're looking at new listings. This is the number of new listings that came to market in Oakland this week. We had a slight tick up this week to 523 new listings hitting the market. But as you can see, that represents 31.4% more new listings than this same period last year. If you compare this year, the green line, to last year, the orange line, you can see that the delta between the two has just grown and grown. So if agents think that we're going to have a busy season in Oakland this year, they're right about that. If they expect it to be a high-priced season, they might not be right about that, because more inventory means downward pressure on pricing. Buyers have more options, there's less competition, fewer bidding wars, and prices just don't climb as fast. So if the market is just flooded with new listings, but buyer appetite doesn't grow to meet all that supply, yeah, we'll have a busy season, but prices will be more moderate. Now we're looking at homes sold. This is the number of homes that sold this week on the Oakland market. And if I can find the green line, there we go, 223 homes sold this week. That's down from the same period last year by 2.7%. And as you can see, if we look at the beginning of the year, we can see that our homes sold metric is really right in line with last year. We were a little bit higher at the beginning of the year, and now we've fallen in step with last year's numbers. So far what we've seen is a lot more new listings are coming to market, but the same number of homes are exiting market by being sold off the market. And that is a good sign for home buyers that it might be a busy year, but it won't be a busy year with very high prices. Of course, there are a lot more data points to consider, so let's keep going. Now we're looking at pending sales. These are sales that went pending this week on the Oakland market, and this is a bit of a punch in the face to home buyers. As you can see, this year the green line is kind of hidden a bit behind the black line, but pending sales has really exploded over last year and 2023. 432 homes went pending this week. That's 47.9% more homes having gone pending than the same period last year. Now, let me tell you about pending sales. A home goes pending when it enters contract, and typically the escrow process takes 30 days. So pending sales is a leading indicator of homes sold. A home goes pending about 30 days before it becomes a home sold. So the fact that pending sales has just catapulted up over last year's numbers over the past 4 weeks means that the homes sold metric, which right now is in line with last year's numbers, should also jump up and start to accelerate way above last year's numbers. So even though new listings are up and home sales are flat, which is yay, good news for home buyers, pending sales are way up, which means in the weeks ahead, homes sold is going to go way up, which is unfortunately bad news for home buyers. It means more inventory is leaving the market by way of being sold, and that of course puts upward pressure on pricing. When there are fewer homes from which to choose, there's more competition for the homes that are there. That leads to bidding wars and price escalation. When you take a look at the homes that are coming to market and take a look at the homes that are exiting the market, you end up with active listings. This is the number of active listings that are currently on the market in Oakland. And right now we're sitting at 3,007 active listings on the market. That's 32% more than this time last year. And as you can see, there is a pretty healthy gap between this year and last year. And that gap's been here for the whole year. And that's a good thing for home buyers. This number might fall relative to last year in the month ahead as these pending sales become homes sold. But what we want in order to keep pricing from growing tremendously is for active listings to remain at a healthy margin above last year's numbers. And now we're looking at weeks of supply, which is my favorite metric because it balances supply against demand. This metric tells us how many weeks it would take to buy out the whole market if no new listings came to market and buyers kept buying at their current rate. So the higher this number, the more demand-adjusted supply exists. And as you can see right now, this number is higher than it's been at any time in the past 4 years. We're looking at 14 weeks of supply on the Oakland market. That's 4 more weeks than this same period last year. This metric has really just shot up since the beginning of the year. And what this tells us is that presently, listings coming to market is blowing away listings exiting the market. However, there's no way to get around that huge pending sales number. And so I believe that weeks of supply will pretty much crest around here and then start to fall off again. Still, we have a ways to go before we even get close to last year's numbers, meaning this year in Oakland, come spring and summer, should be a more comfortable time to buy a home. Generally speaking, less competition, easier pricing, more options to choose from. And that prognosis is reinforced by this metric. This is the percent of active listings with price drops, which as you can see has also gotten off to a fast start this year. Right now, 3.9% of homes on the Oakland market have had a price drop. And that's well over where we were this time last year, the year before that, and the year before that. Now, if this trend continues, that's obviously an incredibly good sign for anyone planning to be a home buyer in Oakland this year. If you're planning to be a home buyer in Oakland this year, be sure to check out my 2025 California Home Buyers Guide. It includes all the latest information you need to make sure you're making a smart decision with your home purchase, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.